Hi there, it's Donna from Taffy Crafting, and you may have now come across this video due to the blog post that I've used for Kylie Bertucci's international blog highlights. I love taking part in this blog, and I do it once a month, and the theme is, well, the ones I've taken part in have always been thanks. And I'm just coming up to a point in time where I've got to go back to work. I work in education, so we've been off all summer, and then we were teaching from home before that. So I'm just kind of thankful that so far everyone has stayed nice and fit and healthy, but now we have this bit of a scary time when we go back to the classroom, and we'll see how that goes. Anyway, to take my mind off that, I'm going to make a bit of a pop-up card for this. And I've been inspired by TX Stampin Sharon Armstrong from, I believe she's from Texas in the States. And I love watching her tutorials, and she really inspired me. And when I watched her tutorial, I thought, that's what I'd love to do for this blog highlight. So I'm going to start off with a piece of card. This measures 11 inches by 4 1/4, and I've scored, it's not 4 1/4, it's 4 1/8, and I've scored down the long side at 5 1/2. So that's my basic card base. I'm using the Gilded Autumn paper, which I just adore. I just think it's just so beautiful. And I've chosen this, and I think that goes really nicely with the Very Vanilla. It goes with Whisper White, but it does look much nicer with the Very Vanilla. So I'm going to, I didn't check that my glue was running freely. That should be fine. So I'm just going to stick that on my card front. So if this is the first time that you've come across me, perhaps you've seen me in the blog hop, then if you like nice straightforward tutorials, I go through everything in lots of detail in my tutorials, then come and subscribe, click the bell so that you get notified of all future tutorials, and hopefully I can give you some inspiration, some ideas along the way. So there's the front of my card. Now I did something else with this. I've pre-prepared a lot of this stuff just because I try and keep my videos as short as possible, but they end up going way beyond the half an hour. I've used the stitched shape dies. I love these dies, and I've used the two smaller oval ones. I've cut this out in gold. I don't think the foiling on this is gold, but I don't think it really matters. So that's the second smallest. And then mint macaron stamped onto Very Vanilla from, this is the stamp set that I've used. I love this. It's quite a recent purchase of mine. It's called Here's a Card. And I just love all the different sentiments on here. I've used this so many times, but I really like that. I love the font on that. So I've stamped that onto Very Vanilla with mint macaron ink. And I'm just going to just mount that on top of there using mini dimensionals. If you've come across this video tutorial and you've not seen my blog, there's a link to that in the description bar. And in that blog post, there is also a link to Kylie's international blog highlights post. And if you like this card, come and vote for it. That will give me the chance to be featured in her top 10. I'd love that. I came 11th the time before last. I was gutted I just missed it. So in order to give me a chance to be in the top 10, then pop over to that link on my blog. I'll also leave the link in the description bar for this video. And please come and vote. And also go and see all of the other crafters that are taking part in this blog hop as well. So that's mounted onto there, and then I'm just, again with dimensionals, I think, just to raise this a little bit. I love dimensionals. I use them in just about every single project I make. I'm obsessed with them. It's a lovely sunny day here in mid Wales in the UK, and the sun just keeps absolutely blaring through my window. I'm just squinting. Right, let's get that. I want to put that there because I want us to be able to see this paper. Okay, so that's our front. I don't want to do anything else with that because this card is all about the middle. So I've got a nice pretty front, but I want to have a pretty middle. So I've got 2 pieces of mint macaron cardstock, and these measure 5 1/4 by 3 7/8. I've got 2 of those. Now with this one, not with that one, with this one, I've stamped it using the leaf stamp in Bloom and Grow, and I'll show you how I did that in a minute because I've got to do the other one. So let's just stick that on there. And what I did, I stamped it using first and second generation stamping. I'll show you what I mean by that in a minute. And I've been doing a lot of that recently, and I love the effect that it creates on my stamping. Another favourite YouTuber of mine is The Artful Stamper, and she's really inspired me to go that bit further with my stamping. It's not just, you know, I'm a sentiment person, stamp a sentiment, job done. But she's inspired me to do more with my stamping. So this is how I did that. So I got the leaf stamp. I need smaller blocks. I must invest in smaller blocks. And with the mint macaron ink, so load it up, and you can stamp off as well, kind of going just off the edge of your card. And I prefer to start at the corner and work my way down. So stamp once, and without reloading the ink and twisting your stamp a little bit, stamp again. So you get 2 different kind of shades of the same ink. I'm trying not to make this look too uniform, and I end up just overthinking it. So I'm just going to go all the way around and just keep trying to turn my stamp each time and not overthink where I'm putting these stamps, which is what I do tend to do, like that. Smooge that a little bit there, so I'm just going to stamp over that, and it's covered it up beautifully. See, I'm overthinking. I'm trying not to get, I just want them to be well distributed between the first and the second generation stamping. So I think I want that there, and then put that there. I made a project the other day that had 3rd generation stamping as well, and it really does make a difference to your projects. So I'm just rambling away while I'm doing this because it does take a bit of time. Just bear with me. But once we get the next part of our card in place, really we won't be taking too much notice of these leaves. I just wanted to break the green up a little bit. Right, that's it. I'm going to put that down before I just overthink that anymore. Okay. Now there's something I want to do with these first that I forgot to do with this one. I needed to put some ribbon in there, and I've gone and glued it down. Right, I need to salvage that. I knew I'd forget that. So put that there, because I want this to open with some ribbon, and I'm probably just going to have to ditch that. If I can do something with it, I will do. I need to do something with it. Oh, I'm really annoyed myself. I knew I would forget that. Is there a way that I can... No, that's stuck fast. So what you could do is just slip some ribbon on the inside of that, and then the whole thing can just tie together. So that's an option as to what you can do with that. And I'm kicking myself now with that. But there we are. I'm extremely forgetful. Most of the time, I don't even know what day of the week it is. And the only way I know is to look at my college timetable And that reminds me. Okay, so that is the inside, or the background of the inside of our card. I've got a piece of mint macaron cardstock. This measures 11 inches by 1 3/4 inches, and I've scored at 2 3/4, 5 1/2, and 8 1/4. I've then folded it in half, so we've got the peak this way, and then I've folded these two in like that and give them a good burnish. And then that is going to stick to either end like that. So I'm going to use tear and tape for that. Wet glue will work, but I think it's just under a bit more stress. So that's the top of it, that's the underneath, and that's where I'm going to put this tear and tape. I just know that it's not going to move using tear and tape, so just either end of that cardstock. I should have got my take your pick tool out, ready to do this. Right, let's just get this the right way around. So just fold all your card back up again. So you've got tear and tape, and then put this in the middle. Now I put it right up to the inside cardstock, not the outside card base. If that makes sense. Get in the middle. You can measure it if you like. I'm being super lazy. Put that there. Rest that on top of it, and then bring this over. And there we have, that's what's going to be the mechanism of your card. So I'm going to decorate each of these, and I've got 4 pieces of gold foil card to kind of go with that, and they measure 2 1/4 by 2 3/4. So I've got 4 of those. Let's just put that to one side for a second. And I've got 2 pieces of Very Vanilla that measure 2 inches by 2 1/2 inches. And I've got 2 pieces of, also from the Gilded Autumn DSP, and these also measure 2 inches by 2 1/2. So I'm going to put those on there just because they're just super shimmery and super pretty. Do that with those. Now with the pieces of Very Vanilla, I took the thank you from the bottom of my heart sentiment from Bloom and Grow. So that's that one. And I'm going to put that, I'm going to stick that on there like that. And then this one, I took another sentiment from Here's a Card. So this is thank you for being my friend. All of the products that I've used, the links to those are going to be at the bottom of the blog. And then also from Bloom and Grow, there's a tiny little flower sentiment, and I just stamped that on there as well. Really to go with the thanks theme. So I'm just going to stick those on there. And there we go, they're all stuck in place. So bring your card back in. Now something that Sharon Armstrong did when she did hers, because I've made this card before, and so I just put all of the panels on there like that. And I think when I made this before, I think I put squares in the middle, but you could do circles, you could do any shape. You could have ovals that are you know, facing vertically, any shape that you like. But what she did was this, and I thought, oh my goodness, that is inspired. I have to have a go at that. So what we're going to do is just have them going like that. So Sharon, thank you. I am going to tag you in this tutorial. So they're going to go like that. So what I'm going to do is put a piece of, just put some glue on the bottom half of this. I always like to put my pieces in place before I glue them, so it reminds me where they're all going. And I'm using liquid glue for this just so that I've got some room to move it if I need to. So this one we need the glue at the top. This one, the glue will be at the bottom. And even if I wasn't filming this, I'd still be telling myself this. I think it's the thing that comes with age. It's almost like I have a running commentary of my life. And then finally this last one, and then we're done. I've done a similar tutorial for this in the past. I was using the Birthday Bonanza cardstock, and somebody said, yeah, but where would you write in it? Just right in the back. So that's all of those on there. So there's the front of my card. Beautiful just as that is. And then open it up and we have that. How I'm going to photograph that to show all of that to put on the blog, absolutely no idea, but I'll have a think about that in a second. So I hope you like that. I hope you can see just how straightforward that is. And it's just about some accurate trimming, and I wouldn't be without the Stampin' Up paper trimmer to be able to do that, but just how gorgeous is that? And that's because Stampin' Up have just beautiful, gorgeous designer series paper. So thank you for joining me. Just a reminder, if you can go and vote, I'd be so grateful. And I'll be back again soon with another tutorial for you. Bye bye.